What was I gonna say? Market Wizards. So there's a book called Market Wizards, which is a collection of interviews by a bunch of different traders. I was reading it this morning, and it was really validating actually to see how much other traders have failed. You know, I've been working on trading for 2 years now. It's been a really interesting endeavor for me, especially since I've been highly successful doing something else. Made and lost a ton of money, but yeah, reading other highly successful, I mean, people who've made tens of millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars, talk about their losses, made me feel better. So it's okay to fail, guys. So this is an idea I've been mulling over recently. Positive energy is like gasoline. For people who have their pilot light lit, you know, it's a great magnifying force, right? You essentially could turn their pilot light into a bonfire, but for people who don't have their pilot light lit, you know, they end up just drowning in that positive energy. And I started to create this concept mentally because I was trying to figure out, why are some people so resistant to positive energy, motivation, ideas, frameworks, positive beliefs, and all these different systems? And it's because it makes them feel like they're drowning, right? They're not ready yet, right? They don't have that fire inside of them lit that can use all of this fuel, and instead it just becomes kind of this ocean of despair, this ocean of effort and stuff that they can't do. Ultimately, you know, it's up to them to turn that pilot light on. So just a concept, think about it. So here's one tip to change the way that you think about money, investing, especially for long term, right? You think about the last 4 years of your life, how different your life may or may not be over those 4 years, right? If the last 4 years hasn't been crazy, think of high school or college if you went to college, right? Think about how much personal development and knowledge you acquired in that time frame, right? Investing is the same thing. Every 4 years, every 5 years, 10 years, right? Time is going to pass and so much will change. So it's important to do these little things over time, like invest, because that time is going to pass. Everybody feels like it's so hard because there's like some big thing that they need to do. No, guys, you're just using time to your advantage, right? Time is going to pass. Those 4 years are going to fly by. The 10 years are going to fly by. They will. And so when that flies by, you want to have something at that finish line waiting for you that you started working on 4 years, 5 years, 10 years ago. So do it. Welcome back, boys and girls. We're doing a trade review. We're just doing it outside today on my roof because I was feeling a little inspired. For those of you who are new here, my name is Forrest. I invest in stuff. I think that you should too. This is a review of a trade I took on Friday, December 30th. This was a swing trade, technically an overnight trade. I've been leaning more into swing trading recently, but yeah, we won't take too much time and we'll just jump into it. So we can see my trade here on 𝐦𝐤𝐬. Go ahead and like, subscribe. Forgot that. But let's look at my entry. So you can see I entered here at 12:59 a.m., right? Bought 10 contracts, 3,800 puts, total cost basis of $3,800. And you can see that on this trade, I made $6,000, right? So net, right? I went from 3,800 to around total value of this was, you know, right around 10 grand. You add 6,090 plus 3,800, you know, right under 10 grand. So not a bad trade. You'll notice that my stop wasn't set. I can't remember what it was. I did have a mental stop. To actually look at this though and see what this was, we need to look at December 30th on TradingView because it shows your overnight entries at the open here on 𝐦𝐤𝐬, which isn't really what we want. So let's look at ES, and this is the 4 hour, and we want to look at December 30th. Let's just go to the 15-minute chart. My screen is actually so dark I can barely see right now. I'll just zoom in. All right, so this trade here, holy shit, actually, what am I looking at? The 28th, the 29th, Friday, December 30th. Here's pre-market. Jeez Louise. Okay, there was so much glare I actually couldn't see my screen. Okay, so here's what we have here. This pre-market session, which is starting, you know, in this area, right? And then we have the end of the day, Friday, which is here. So I entered at 12:59, which is right around here, right? You can see that we came down, we rejected off of this level, right? We came down and then we consolidated. So I actually went short ES in addition to these put. I got stopped out here, right? So on this break here, I got stopped out and that was the end of my ES short, which is unfortunate. I should have been a little bit looser on that short. I would have made good money here on the open. And then you can see that the market, you know, once we opened up here around 9 a.m., we sold off. Actually held through this first volatility, right? So if we go to the 5-minute chart here and make this a little bit more extreme so we can see it. There was this green here at the open and then we sold off. I held through this because of the doji that I saw in the 15 minutes. So I wasn't watching the 5. If you're watching the 5, it's pretty easy to get shaken out here. This turned into a doji on the 15. If we go back to the 15 minute, here is this candle right here, which I will put a line on, right? So we have a candle with a pretty large top and bottom bottom wick, held through that, and then I caught this wick down. I actually thought we were gonna just sell off. We didn't. We actually did this weird, you know, excessive chop, which is fine. Was wrong about that, but we're still right on the trade, which is all that matters. So I got my downside, right? Got out, took those profits, and that was a trade. So overall, swing trades have proved to work out pretty well. And really what I'm looking for, guys, is this, right? So when we have these zones of chop like this even though I wouldn't take a trade off of this, but this, which is a strong rejection off of a level, you know, that's been tested a few times here. We see rejecting off of this level, test here, test here. That correlated with what I'm seeing on the higher time frames. So if we look at the 1 hour, right, we still have this bearish trend. And so I'm really looking for downside, honestly. Like, I could have played this reversal. That would have been nice. I didn't catch that because I rolled it out my desk the rest of the day. Made 6 grand first few minutes of the market, so you're done. But that's what I'm looking for when I'm trading, guys. You know, finding these long, and that's consolidation on the 15-minute, right? So look at this here. This is another trade that I took. You see all these rejections off of this level here on the 1 hour chart? Like, what do you think is gonna happen, right, when we chop at a level and we don't breach it, right? You think we're gonna eventually break through? There's no shape here, right? There's not a wedge, there's not a triangle, right? There's literally just knocking on the door, bouncing off, knocking, bouncing off, knocking, bouncing off with no real application of volume. And so that just means we're likely gonna reject. Sometimes it doesn't happen, right? Sometimes the market does something you don't expect. That's fine. Trading, it's about an edge, and I'll stop recording. Well, actually, let's just go back and make sure I didn't forget anything else in this trade. But let me finish that thought. Trading is about finding an edge and just applying that edge, right? It's not going to work every time. You have to accept losses in your portfolio. You should actually account for losses, right? If, let's just say your edge has a 70% win rate, right? You should expect to lose, you know, on a trade. You should expect 3 out of 10 of your trades to fail, right? You should plan for that, right? So if you see a loss, you should be like, oh, that's one of the losing ones. You shouldn't, you know, be like, ah, shit, you know, and beat yourself up. That's what it means to trade with an edge, right? You're not trying to win on every single trade. You're just trying to come out ahead. Riding your winners, cutting your losses, all of that, which is stuff that I'm working on. So we'll stop recording our screen. That's this trade review, guys. Pretty simple, straightforward stuff. I think kind of, since we're up here on the roof and it's beautiful out, my laptop is melting. One of the other things, and kind of just like vlogify this video, you know, YouTube grind is tough. Really focus on trying to grow this. So I appreciate every one of you that watches this. Share this with people. You know, ultimately don't have to do this, right? Make money trading, but you know, I would like to build this platform and share my journey and also help people on theirs wherever they are. So yeah, that's it. Miami's great. I think that's all I got. Oh yeah, join my Discord. Almost forgot. Link is below. Click that link. All my trades, this trade, when I took it, was in there. All the trades are in there. So yeah, if you want to 3x your money, you know, you can follow me. Usual disclaimers about don't do that. But yeah, my name is Forrest. I invest stuff. You should too. See you in the next one.